In today's video, I'm going to be discussing some surprising information in regards to a 144.2% increase and your Social Security checks, including but not limited to retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, and VA benefits. That's the focus of the video. Let's get into it and talk through the details. All right, now I do want to share with you the details of this report because it mainly focuses on your monthly benefit and the checks that you receive on an ongoing basis from Social Security that you use to maintain your lifestyle, and these checks are vitally important for the vast majority of beneficiaries that do receive them. Now, let me ask you a really quick question. The raise that you get to your benefits on an annualized basis, as in the COLA raise, the cost of living adjustment, do you believe that these raises are high enough and that they actually account for the increase in cost of living on a year-over-year basis? Now, I'm going to go ahead and guess that most of you here in the community are probably saying, no, not even close, right? I 100% agree with you. That is completely fair, and I do think that you are 100% correct by saying no, okay? The numbers show us all the details behind this, and again, I want to share with you the details of this report because it is playing exactly into this, and it's also leading to this 144.2% increase that I'm going to share with you here in this video. This is very surprising, and at the end of the day, it's actually not going to be all that shocking when I break down the details of this report and show you exactly what it's displaying here. So anyway, with that being said, let's jump into the details, and again, I'll break it all down for you so you can clearly see what's going on. However, really fast before we do, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you have not done so yet, will you please make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right down below the video? It's totally free to do so, always has been, always will be. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be every single day, watching the headlines, doing the research, advocating on your behalf, and breaking it all down into these short videos. It's a rough time out there financially, and again, I want to do what I can to help you maximize your monthly income, maximize your annual income, and maximize your lifetime income as well, and take advantage of programs that are out there as well. There's a lot of them for the low income and fixed income, and probably many more to come as well, okay? Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Again, thank you so much for being here. Truly do appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. Also, please feel free to share the video. Right down below the video next to the subscribe button is a share button. Share this with your friends who are on social media so they can also be aware of what is actually going on when it comes down to fixed income benefits. Thank you. I truly appreciate you watching, and let's talk through the details. All right, so this report was released, and let me break down the details of increases to benefits over the last, call it 23 years, and increases in expenses over that same period of time. It's nuts to see this, but you're going to clearly see these numbers laid out side by side here, and yeah, this is a major discrepancy. Anybody looking at these reports here can clearly see that this does not work, and this is on a path for destruction. In other words, it is not working, okay? But again, are we shocked? Is this really anything that's all that surprising? No, okay? So when I give you the details of this report here, you're not going to be like, whoa, I didn't have any idea. You're going to be like, yeah, we could have told you this like years and years ago, right? And again, it all comes down to the COLA raise, okay? So here's the thing. We recognize, especially the last couple of years here when inflation has been very high, yes, to be fair, the COLA raises have also been historically pretty high and pretty generous. For example, this year, 2024, 3.2%. That's not that great, but it is actually the highest, well, one of the highest that we've received in the last several years. Now, last year, 8.7%. The year before that, 5.9%. The year before that, 1.3%, right? But anyway, the raises the last couple of years have actually been pretty generous, but check this out. Going back all the way to the year 2000 through the year 2023, okay? Basically taking into consideration the 3.2% that we got for this year as well, okay? So basically 24 years of time that were taken into consideration. The year 2000, and then including this year, the 3.2%, okay? Get this. Over that period of time, how much do you think living expenses have gone up? Not the COLAs, but how much do you think living expenses have gone up for everybody? You, me, and everybody else across the country collectively on everything. We're talking food, gas, shelter, everything, right? Clothing, literally everything that we buy, goods and services. I'll tell you, in the last 24 years, living expenses have gone up 144.2%. That's nuts. In, call it 24 years. That's a lot of increases over that period of time. That is nuts. Now, how much do you think that your monthly benefits have increased over that same period of time? You would think the COLA should adjust for that, and it should be exactly the same or better, right? It should be the same, 144.2%. That's what it should be, but it's not. Let me tell you the details. Over that same period of time, benefits have increased by 81.6%. That's a major discrepancy. That's a difference of, I should have ran the math on that, 44.2 and what is that, 18.4? Yeah, so I mean, we're talking like 62%, something like that. Again, I'm just kind of rounding here. I'm trying to add it up as I talk here, but it's like 62% is the discrepancy. That's massive, right? So benefits should have really increased the same. They should be at parity. Remember, parity is the same, right? Apples to apples, same thing. So if the COLA is actually calculated fairly and adjusting benefits to actual living expenses, we should not have this major discrepancy of roughly, call it 62% or so, give or take a little bit, right? So anyway, this is the major problem here. Now, we can look back and we can think, okay, well, if they would have adjusted the COLA based on the CPIE versus the CPIW, which is what they currently use now and they have been using since 1975 to calculate the COLAs every single year, if they would have used the CPIE, would that have done the difference? No, if we actually compare the CPIE to the CPIW over that same period of time, we would have scraped out an extra about 3 to 4% at best, okay? So, okay, fine. Maybe the discrepancy would only be about 58% versus 62, rounding a little bit there, okay? So even the CPIE does not accurately reflect this. So where's the problem? What is going on here, and why are we seeing these discrepancies? Well, it would lead us to believe that maybe these inflation reports that we're receiving are maybe not always all that accurate, right? Maybe they're not the best reflection of living expenses and what all of us are buying, and again, price adjustments on an annualized basis on goods and services and everything that we all buy. Literally everything out there that is for sale, that is basically what encompasses inflation, right? So anyway, when I see these numbers and I see these reports like this, it makes me wonder, I don't know. It seems to me like something is not working here, right? Something is not actually penciling out. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I do understand math on a pretty basic level here, and to me, these numbers do not match. I'm sorry, 81.6% is not the same as 144.2%. It's just not the same, not even close, right? If we were in the ballpark, let's just say that benefits increased over that same period of time by, say, I don't know, 141%, and expenses increased by 144.2%. I would think, okay, yeah, it's a little shy there. We're a little soft on how much benefits should have increased, but we're kind of in the ballpark. But having a discrepancy of, call it 62%, something is not adding up here, right? That does not make sense. Okay, so anyway, I want to bring this to your attention. And again, like I said earlier, some surprising information, but at the end of the day, probably not all that shocking because we've seen it the last couple of years here with inflation being very high. It's been very prominent, right? We look at our receipts and we think, wow, spent an extra $20 on groceries this week and I got the same old things I got last month. Seems like something is off here, right? We don't really need to do that much investigation to figure out that, wait, something is not adding up here. And oh, by the way, my benefits only went up $18 a month. But yet I spent an extra $20 this week on groceries on the same old things that I bought the last week and the week before, right? So again, that's just groceries. What about gas in the car, clothes, shoes, again, rent, utility prices, which have gone up massively over the last couple of years as well, right? So anyway, I want to bring this to your attention really quickly. I think it's totally fair for you to know what is going on and the reports that are being put out there in the public, things like this, so you can see the details behind this. And I want to bring this to your attention. Again, at the end of the day, I think it's totally fair for all of us to know this information. So anyway, hope this helps you. As always, please do me a huge favor if you've not done so, and do yourself a huge favor as well. Hit the subscribe button right down below the video if you've not done so yet. Share this video, again, with the big share button down below as well with your friends on social media so they can stay updated with what's actually going on. And also go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those that I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And right here on your screen, you'll also see some videos. Check those out as well. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a nice day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. And check out those videos.